Hello, guys. Good morning. Happy coffee talk. Coffee talk. I was getting ready to push record and I look at myself in my, in the video camera and I realized that I had mascara smeared all down my face because I walked. I just got back from walking about 30 minutes ago and it was cold outside. And so my eyes were watering and it made my mascara smear all over my face, but I didn't see it. And so I was literally just getting ready to push record and I was like, oh my God, I look like a sad clown. Coffee this morning, I am drinking my favorite, which is this, it is Wicked Wolf coffee, Raven's Brew. And so it's like a Washington coffee and it's one of my favorites and I haven't gotten it in a long time and I ordered it this week and I'm pumped. It's so good. So first, before we dive into the coffee talk topic for the day, Nutrition Bootcamp starts on Monday. So we're doing a kickoff call on Sunday, but what's Nutrition Bootcamp for? I mean, to be honest, it's just to teach you how to eat better in your real life. I want to show you how to know what portion sizes to eat, how to understand what food choices work for you, how to do it easier, and how to make it consistent. And at the same time, I want to get you moving more. So getting some exercise in, getting some movement, feeling like you're actually making progress. Again, if you're already doing those things, then are you making progress or are you just kind of staying the same? That's what Nutrition Bootcamp's for. I like to joke that it's like a 10-day kick in the butt. And whatever you've got going on this summer, Nutrition Bootcamp fits in, by the way, because it's just a few minutes a day that add up to big change. And so sign up. I'm going to put the link in the show notes and all the places. If you're on my Instagram, it's in my bio. I'll put it everywhere, but go ahead and sign up and it's totally free. So you don't want to miss it, but we start on Monday of next week. So I wanted to share kind of this reflection. I feel like I've been talking a lot about walking lately. And the reason that I've been talking about walking is because I've been spending a lot of time walking. And in fact, that seems odd because why am I walking so much? Well, there's a couple of reasons, but I think I want to share a few of them that matter to you. Because last week when we talked about walking, you're like, Christy, I don't want to hear about walking anymore. This is not completely about walking. So hear me out. Last week I told you that I accidentally got in really good shape from walking for the 24 WOD salute. Yes, I've been doing CrossFit workouts. Yes, I've been doing some strength training, but really not a lot. What I've been doing a lot of is walking. So it was kind of mind blowing to me that I was in pretty good condition for this in very tough challenge, this 24-hour workout challenge that I did as a fundraiser on Memorial Day. But walking has been more than that. Walking's been a stress manager for me. I shared it in an email last week, but I'm currently going through a divorce. It's a very stressful season for me and my family. My ex, who has been deployed on a ship since November, so just normal single mom life with the kids while he's deployed. And it's a transition season. It's a hard season, to put it mildly, for all of us. And so it's been stressful in some ways that there are things outside of my control. There are things that are coming that are not happened yet. Again, I'm only telling you because my life is not a highlight reel. I haven't been ready to share that yet because it felt very personal and private, and I didn't want to share things that I wasn't ready to. But now I do feel ready to share that with you. And again, it's not, I don't want to go into the details of it, but at the end of the day, it's hard for everybody, especially my kids. And so juggling and navigating this season has been, it's funny because has it been really tough? Yes. But have I been doing okay? Yes. I have not been hiding the fact, I'm not hiding and sitting here and barely surviving and then also sharing that I'm fine. That I'm not doing that. So when you see me show up, that's exactly how I am in that moment and how I am that day. But I've had to proactively manage some of these big feelings and stress and then also take care of my body. And one of the ways that I have done that is through walking. If I can tell you that from a mental perspective, sometimes I feel overwhelmed or stressed or tired, and then I go for a walk, and then after it, I feel better. I don't know what that is. I just know that that's the case. I also know that that's the case for many of my clients and many Fit Me clients because they experience that too. You could experience that same shift from a workout. Also, workout creates endorphins, and you'll actually feel emotionally relieved after you've sweat because of those endorphins. And I think walking does that too, especially if you're getting fresh air, you're getting a little bit of sunshine, you're allowing yourself just to think. You're not like mulling stuff over. Sometimes you just like let it go and you just walk. Those things can feel really good. And so intentionally, I've tried to set aside an hour a day, probably for the past 2.5 months, 2 months or so, an hour a day to walk. That's a lot. But guess what? How much time I spend on other dumb stuff that takes way over an hour? A lot. And an hour a day isn't that bad, actually. And what it's done a couple things. One, about 2 months ago when I told you I was going to start walking, it has lowered my body fat percentage. So I told you that was part of my goals. It wasn't like a weight thing. It was like a lower body fat percentage thing. It has done that. But the other thing that it's done is just given me space. It's given me an outlet, a place for my brain, a place for my body. It's let me get to know my streets in town in a way that I don't know that I would otherwise. It's almost like I own it. Like this is my street. This is my sign. I feel differently connected to it. I also feel like the city of where I live is much more accessible to me. It's funny because like I could drive anywhere I want, but all of a sudden on foot, I feel like I can access it differently. So it's just been time. It's been time that I've given to myself. And the takeaway for Coffee Talk today is that you need to give yourself time, whether that is walking, whether that's through working out, whether that's through visiting with friends, through stress management in other kind of way, maybe going to yoga class, like you name it. You need to be giving yourself time, and not just like once a week. Not like, oh, I need whatever, so I'm going to do it for 30 minutes this one time this month. It doesn't work like that. Almost always when we dedicate time to someone or something or some purpose, that starts to build trust, confidence, momentum, all of that. And so you pick what you want to dedicate your time to, but that's where your priorities are. That's where your attention are. And that's where you're going to start to see changes, either positive or negative, where you direct your time. And so for me, my days feel really busy. I shared it in my email today. Just today is a regular day for me. Starts at around 5 or 5:30 in the morning. I try to get up, shower, get dressed, get a walk in, come home, get the kids on the bus, my older boys, get this podcast recorded and email sent out. Then I get Georgia ready for her day, take her to preschool. Usually I start coaching calls the minute she's dropped off at preschool. I'll do those all the way till I pick her up, get her home, feed her lunch, put her down for a nap, and then get back to business. Today, it's going to be preparing for nutrition boot camp and preparing materials for that. And then I'm going to do a getting started call for a new client. And then I'm going to teach a mindset workshop. And then I'm going to take my kids all the places again this evening, make some dinner, and try to get in a little bit of lifting and some sauna time at the gym. That's going to be my day. It's busy like that every single day. It looks like that. So I can't tell you what it does to have dedicated like an hour of time this morning for myself to walk. And even if you don't have an hour to give yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes, then that's a great place to start, because what it does is it shifts your outlook and your, what's happening for the entire rest of the day. So, that 5 minutes of time for yourself, or 10 minutes or 30 or 1 hour, maybe you get to the gym. Maybe you're like, I am going to carve out time to get to the gym in the morning. And then that's going to change how you approach your entire day. Because you've done that for yourself. It's so easy when I get back from my walk to make a healthy breakfast, to drink a glass of water, to get to work, because I've already feeling like I've given myself something that builds happiness and confidence and momentum, as opposed to feeling like I am on the reactive or sluggish or can't get it to happen kind of side of my day. Like I'm trying to push the boulder uphill. I actually just climb the hill and I'm already on top. And so I'll get the boulder up there, but I'll just do it a different kind of way, rather than just feeling like I'm one step away from being smushed. I'm I climbed to the top of the hill. I gave that to myself so I could get a better look at what that boulder looks like and what is necessary in order to get it up the hill. And then now I'm going to approach it. I'm not just going to like trudge through the mud and hope that I can push through. I need to give myself that perspective, that time, that clarity, that outlook. And then now, okay, I can see clearly that actually the boulder does need to get up the hill, but there's a couple different paths to take it. I can see now from the top that there's an easy one, there's a medium one, and there's a hard one. There's a bunch of gravel and crap over here. We're not going to go that way. And then down there is this, and then over there is this, and there's some people over there that can help. So I'm going to go back down the hill. I'm going to go grab a couple of people. We're going to push it up the most doable way to get that boulder up the hill. And that's what perspective and outlook is. It's not like, oh, yay, you can do it, motivated. Like, it's not that at all. It's literally looking at the problem differently and then approaching it with a better solution because you've given yourself space in order to do that. And so the space that I've given myself is walking. Because it gives my mind time to think. It gives myself time to process. It lets me reset a little bit. And again, is it great for my physical body? Yes, like double bonus, right? Double bonus that I'm losing body fat and feeling really healthy and strong and getting fitter. And at the same time, giving myself mental space, clarity, perspective, and all of that good stuff. So it is the Holy Grail. I put that in my email this morning. The Holy Grail. But if you are just waking up and pushing the boulder blindly, that's why it's so hard. You haven't given yourself any space or perspective or distance from it to kind of look at the situation and see what's going on. You haven't even looked over to see that there's people that can help. You haven't even looked to see that the tool is there that could make it a little bit easier. The like rope situation you could tie to the boulder and pull it up the hill. All of that. You're not seeing it because you're so in it. You're so in it, you can't even see that. So my challenge to you today is if you're missing it, if it feels impossibly hard, then you definitely need some distance, some perspective, and some time for yourself. And that needs to look like the category of both taking care of your body and giving yourself mental space and capacity. And so it needs to look like walking. It needs to look like workouts. It needs to look like healthy food. It needs to look like maybe some quiet time. It needs to look like detaching from some of the BS on social media. It needs to look like that, right? Like that's what distance looks like. Maybe it needs to look like better boundaries. There's a whole bunch of different ways, but you got to find what's going to work for you. So that's my challenge to you today. If you feel like you're pushing that boulder up the hill and it's just not going, and it's just every single day is a struggle, then I know what you need. You need some distance and some perspective. So hopefully this episode was helpful. I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to share a little piece of my real life with you and give you an idea of why the hell am I walking so much? That's why. So thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. I really want you to join me for Nutrition Boot Camp. Again, it's totally free. Let me help you eat better in your real life. Sign up. We start on Monday. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. If you're not a part of our Facebook group yet, go to Facebook, search Fit Me Community, request to join the group, and I will add you there. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.